This video is strictly for the creation of my human restoration homeless shelter, soup kitchen, safe community, safe space, safe space community, an oasis, a heavenly part of earth that man create to find peace, tranquility, to find themselves, to find life, to find purpose, to find understanding, to gain knowledge. This is the type of place that I want to build. This is the type of things that I want to do. I want to help people. I want to help you. I want to help me. I want to help people that can't help themselves. Can we sit back and we talk about reality, about things that's going on in the world that we can't, you know, we have no control over? Please push that like button, share this video. It's time to talk. I'm trying to raise money to buy some land. I found a piece of property in the high desert of California. The property to purchase it outright is only $22,000. $22,000 is not a lot of money. Yeah, that's not a lot. So this is going to be a small project that I'm going to, hopefully, I pray I'll be able to house at least 600 people in this facility, at this place. How you doing? Push that like button. Thank you. If anybody would like to donate and help me start this process, the first step is to raise the money to buy the land. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna spend some of this money on myself on one thing. Just one thing. I want to tell everybody before I even get started. The only thing I want out of this is some teeth. I want to get my teeth fixed. I'm gonna get me some teeth. And to get my teeth fixed might cost me about $1,200. But other than that, every dollar that I receive in donations will go towards purchasing the land, putting a fence around the land, foundating the land, getting it started. All I want is some teeth. I don't want no gold chain. I don't want no big house. I don't want no brand new car. All I want is some teeth. That's all I want. How y'all doing? Push that like button. I love everybody that love themselves, that got love for me. You know, I even love the people who don't love themselves. Because somebody got to love them. You know, love is something that everybody possess, not everybody give, not everybody understand how to receive. Are you going to get full dentures or just partials? Just partials, man. I just want a partial. I don't never want to take away from the real Snagg. I just want a partial. I really want some permanents, but I'ma wait. I'ma get me some implants one day. But honestly, some implants will cost like, for me, it's gonna cost like $60,000. I need I need top and bottom. It's 30 for the top, 30 for the bottom. So I'm a long ways from even thinking about that type of shit. I know where I can go get some dentures at a wholesale cost. Like I can go get me some dentures for about $1,200. I'll be good. I just want my shit where they ain't flying out. Like every time I say the wrong word, my shit fly out. Man, I met my wife, the woman of my dreams last night at Walmart. And I got to talking to this lady and my shit flipped out. I'm like, God. And they jumped out. They jumped on my lip and I had to throw them back in. And that lady was like, what the fuck was that? Like I had some 3D teeth. They just came out of like. But the other night, shit, I was talking to one lady and they flung out and they hit that lady up under the eye and scratched up under her eye. I'm like, damn. I'm really handicapped right now. I got the worstest handicap in the world. Toothless, nigga. I was thinking about, handicaps. Like, people, it's fucked up. People blind, walking around, running into shit. That's a fucked up handicap. But see, nowadays, they got technology to help people out. Help their handicaps out a lot better. But, you can't help having no teeth. Boy, it's just certain foods that I've been dreaming about, wishing that I can eat, that I know I can't eat. Because I choke trying to eat that shit. Like, that shit, it choked me out. Am I the only one? I don't know how y'all got me talking about teeth and my biggest dream. And AI ain't shit. iPhones ain't shit. They know that's like a desire in my life. Because every time I get on IG or Facebook, the first thing I see is implant advertisements. I'm like, God damn, why y'all fucking with me? They be fucking with me. How y'all doing? Push that like button. Show me some love. That might be one of my damn children. I got a lot of children somewhere in the world. I don't know. I never stayed long enough to find out. But god damn. How y'all doing? Push that like button. You said where Cardi B at? I don't know. I don't know what Cardi B got to give. Man, we don't want to talk about these celebrities and their herpes issues. And in order to be a celebrity, like mainstream celebrity television and all that, you gotta lay down and get herpes. They gotta infect you. They don't want to hit you with these herpes, and you can do whatever you want to do to the world. Ain't it a shame? People don't want to talk about that shit. All our black people running around here. That's why they got them out there. They public celebrities. In reality, don't nobody want their ass. The people that really know, oh, hell no. Ugh. It's like you gotta be a in order to be a celebrity. If you ain't a then they ain't gonna let you be a celebrity. Ain't that about a bitch? How y'all doing? Push that like button. Show me some love. You say that better be endo. But the only dough I'm gonna smoke. Like I'm smoking endos, I'm smoking endo. And if it ain't the endo of endos, I'm not smoking it. I don't know about you, but I don't smoke no bullshit, nigga. I smoke that same shit I used to look at in the High Time magazines. Yeah, the exotic watics, nigga. Exotic erotics. See, my sack ain't like nobody else's sack, I tell y'all. I ain't got no more. I love y'all, man. Because a lot of y'all think I'm crazy as hell, which I am. You would be too if you had been incarcerated for 17 years and you stayed 11 years and it was 10 years and 11 months in isolation and like, yeah, you know how many years I spent in solitary confinement? And people be like, man, Snagg, you did all that time in solitary, nigga, and you still functioning properly, nigga. You got out, got your own business, your shit all laid and nice and shit, all organized. Yeah, nigga. Like, I've been through a lot of shit, nigga. I think I'm the only, no, I know I ain't the only prisoner in prison that had a Persian rug in his goddamn cell. Like, I had a plush Persian. I had about 27 prayer rugs spread it out on my goddamn floor. Like, I used to, man, I was buying prayer rugs every week on goddamn Canteen, nigga. Man, them Muslims was mad as hell at me. Why you keep buying up all the rugs? They were trying to buy rugs from me. Man, listen, man. This is my holy sanctuary. Didn't y'all say these are prayer rugs? Well, every one of these I pray on, nigga. I ain't none of them for sale. I used to get into it with the Muslims and shit. They get mad at me because I wouldn't sell none of my prayer rugs. You bought all the prayer rugs off Canteen, Snagg. I don't give a fuck, nigga. These mine, nigga. You should have bought them before I did. How y'all doing? Push that like button. Don't nobody like me. You look like the guy in the 50 Cent show. I don't know what 50 Cent show is. I never heard of that. I look like the guy that should have my own 50 Cent thrift store. Like, that's what I want to do. Y'all know I used to be on Storage Wars. You remember seeing me on TV on Storage Wars? Yeah, I was on Storage Wars. I was on Cops. That's what made me famous. I was on Cops. That was the first time I ever, I had a TV debut. I broke through TV on Cops. That was my first acting gig. I was an actor. I really wasn't acting. That was a real life situation scenario that happened in real life. But I was an actor on Cops, on the TV show. They was playing me multiple nights on multiple episodes. And I never got paid for that shit. The police told me to stand there. Hey, man, I want you to get in your car, jump in it, and take off. We got the camera crew in the back. We're going to be following you. See, back in those days, they didn't even have cameras in the cars. So how in the hell did they have a camera in the police car behind me, chasing me? Huh? Think about it. Boy, y'all really don't understand. That shit was all stage play. They didn't tell me I was going to get my ass beat. They just told me, you want to be on TV? I was like, yeah. All right, we got a scenario. We gonna pull you over in the middle of nowhere. Okay. I was like, all right, I'm down. They had the police. They beat my ass. They kicked my teeth, man. They fucked me up. Can I get a like? Can anybody push that like button for me? I do not smoke weed. Asia. Fuck. I smoke medical marijuana. I'm a patient. You look like Meech from the 50 BMF show. I like BMF. I really like BMF. They took that shit to the next level. They got me hooked. I'm waiting on the next. I don't think they gonna come out with another. Now that Big Meech done got out, I don't know how Big Meech got out of jail, and he did all this, supposedly all this shit. All the people, Big Meech supposed to really, like, if that shit was true, Big Meech wasn't supposed to never ever see the streets again. Unless he snitched on somebody. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. He got out? How you get out? What the fuck? They let Meech out and they ain't let Larry Hoover out? Oh, hell no. Something ain't right. I really believe Donald Trump is going to let Larry Hoover out this time. I pray he do. Please free Larry Hoover. That black man needs to be free. He deserved to be free. Let that man be free. Let him live his last days in peace. Let his heart beat. We want to have a moment of silence for Larry Hoover. That brother should be free. That is if we don't have a political soldier locked up in prison right now, if they are even considering letting out the Menendez brothers, why haven't they let Larry Hoover free? The Menendez brothers killed their goddamn mom and daddy. Now, why can't we just let brother Larry free? Look, we gotta free Larry. Larry need to be free. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That's a real movement, man. That black man need to be free. The charges that they got him charged with, the things that they say no. No, this is just a regular black man, just like everybody else. Man, let that man go. That man ain't. That man. That man need to be free. Go look up Demetrius Flannery Jr. from BMF. I know who. I know who. I know who BMF is, man. I know who being Big Meech. Actually, me and my family did business with Big Meech back in the days. You know what I mean? When I say it like that, it's a real story. Like Big Meech, my cousin real well. My cousin was one of those niggas. Go look up Demetrius Flannery Jr. from BMF. I'm talking to T. Smith. I don't know who T. Smith is, but if anybody wanna, y'all think BMF story is good, y'all should see mine. Just imagine a young black man being persecuted for a crime that he committed, but was influenced to commit the crime by watching the movie Juice. Like, I blame all my problems on Tupac. Like, Tupac fucked my life up. I should have never listened to that shit. Like, you got a show or movie? Not yet. I think they waiting on me to die before they write it, before they put it into existence. But they gonna try to do me like they did Dynamite. You know what I mean? It's cool. I'm a part of history, man. I made history. They used my high-speed chase as a training video across America. They used it, they sent it all the way across America to all the police stations, and they used it as a training video on how to get niggas out the car when you pull them over. For real. Now, when the police pull you over and they get on the intercom and be like, put your hands out the window. Take the keys out the ignition. Put them out the window. Drop them. That's because of me, nigga. Like, it's actually because of me. Like, they wrote a law. They how do you say? They rewrote their procedures on how to stop niggas after me. Like, that's some real shit. Tupac was zesty. I already know, gay as fuck. Now, when we sit back and we really decipher the lyrics and we really look at the truth, and Jada Pinkett had already exposed him. Shit, Jada Pinkett only fucked with pansexual. He was pansexual. He wasn't really like, he wasn't like fully submissive, gay boy, like booty dick and a booty boy. He was more like pansexual. He go both ways, like he would go both ways, male and female, whoever he liked, like. But we don't want to talk about Tupac being gay. That'll fuck up a lot of people, gangsterism, thug life. And like, man, yeah, that's why you got them feminine thug life ways, nigga. Thug life was a feminine movement, and you just didn't even see it. Like, a lot of people didn't understand that shit. Like, you know what I mean? That was a feminine movement, man. Some no zesty ass niggas that's raised by their mamas. Thug life, I want to be an outlaw. Yeah, that's outcast. You know what I'm talking about? Diddy got to Pac. Man, Diddy and Pac and Biggie, all the motherfuckers was bumping booties together. But just look, man, you ever seen, but think about it though, in reality. When you see two homosexuals, you see what those homosexuals look like, right? They already scary as hell, ugly as hell. So just imagine what it looked like when them two ugly, scary looking motherfuckers come together and be trying to fuck each other. Like, that's just some ugly, scary ass shit. Like, you know what I mean? But y'all don't look at it like that. That's why it's like, it's disgusting. Like, what make y'all think that that's normal? That's cool. Disgusting. You are not a man if you think like that. Oh my God. Okay. And why do I think like this? Because the Africans think like that. Go to South Africa and get to talking about homosexuals. Try to bring up the conversation and see how far you go with it. It ain't gonna go nowhere. They don't need. We do not even discuss. We do not give them the latitude of disgusting and disgusting discussions. They don't even talk about that. You know what I mean? And you better not ask them why they don't talk about it. It's disgusting. And if it ain't disgusting to you, then you disgusting motherfucker. You just a nasty motherfucker. I don't care. But that's some nasty ass shit. And if you don't agree that it's nasty, you a nasty motherfucker. Now, it is what it is. You might not like the way I view shit, but shit, it's a lot of people view shit like me. They just scared to speak it. God damn it. Fuck it, I speak it. Fuck, I can't help it. I'm thinking it, I speak it. If I think of it, I'm gonna speak it, bitch. I have no goddamn filter. I'm unfiltered. I'm untoned. And they know that shit. That's why they don't like fucking with me. And Snagg will get up there and say anything. No, nigga, don't say that, Snagg. You gonna have the Jewish people ready to kill us. Fuck you, nigga. Am I the only one? Push that like button. I know I'm a breakthrough. I know I'm a breakthrough. And when I break through, it's only because of the people that help me break through. And remember, if you help me break through, there's a lucrative profit behind me. Do you know how much money it is behind the scenes of a working live stream, like live comedian that's making in the know, that's making money? Like, it's a lot of people making money. Like, it's a lot of money to be made. Like, but just imagine we start making that money, and I save this money, and we start investing this money into a community that's gonna pay us back. See, I'm thinking like Elon Musk right now. Y'all don't see, like, I want to put all the money into the business, all of it. So we're just gonna put all this money into this company. And after 5 years, after establishing it, I'm gonna get my severance pay at the top, on the back end, and I'm gonna get paid on the back end off the profits that the businesses are gonna make. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's why I want to get paid. I work for free, and I'm gonna build all this shit. I'm gonna take all my money and donate it and put it back in. Like, that's how much I know for a fact, or how much profit we're gonna make on the end, on the back end. You know what I mean? I just wish that I can get people a part of it, really be aboard. Because right now, some things going on right now. If we had this homeless shelter, how many people would be able to help? You know, I look at life to be like this. The reason why I'm trying to create so much opportunity for people is because nobody never gave me one. They took every opportunity that I had in my life away from me as a young man. And now that I got the power to regain myself and rebuild life and regain strength and rebuild other people, I'm trying to give back all what they didn't give to me, to people that don't have no direction, no help, no, so many people is confused in this earth right now. They just confused. They just here. They don't know what to think. They don't know what direction to go. They don't know what type of resources that's available for them. They don't know nothing. You know what I mean? And why leave people lost in the sauce? Or why leave people, stranded and confused? It's so sad that a lot of people get information and they keep it amongst themselves and they share it with only their friends. You know what I mean? And that same information could help mass of people, help them, better their lives, or you know what I mean? Do anybody know what I'm talking about right now? Or everybody just disagreeing? When I think certain things don't go right for me, you know what I mean? I think that YouTube be shadow banning me, net neutralizing me. blocking me from building the audience that I truly need to build this community. I just wondered, man, what did it feel like to be on top of life and be able to help hundreds of people without thinking twice about it? You know, the dream that the poor man have to help other people, only poor people think that way. And it's so sad because if I won $1 million a day, if somebody donated me $1 million a day, I would take every dollar that I have to create this place for people. I can just see it though. It's nice. I can see it. White rocks, landscapes. You know, a lot of people think that it's hard to do something, man. There's so many people, man, that have the finances by themselves to just start the process. You know what I mean? But they greedy. They selfish. You know, you get a rich man to do this shit, and everything he do, he want to do it for the self gain of himself, the glory for himself. You know what I'm talking about? You get a poor man to do it. You get him to be happy for the glory of others, the glory to create something that's that's better, that's bigger and helpful. You know what I mean? Have you ever lived in a homeless shelter? Have you ever had to go to a homeless shelter? Have you ever seen how these homeless shelters are set up? Most of them nobody want to go to. Nah, I'm cool. I went to so many homeless shelters when I was homeless, and every one of them made me feel uncomfortable. I mean, to the point where it wasn't even, it's like sometimes you gotta ask, if you're gonna really help somebody, why would you try to help somebody like this? And you know it's not something that you would want to accept. It's like, if you can't create something and give somebody something that you would want for yourself, why would you give it to somebody? Why would you offer it to them? A lot of people love to see people just uncomfortable. And in their mind, they doing a good deed because they just put a shelter over your head. Nah, man. In order for a person to be productive, or in order for a person to rest, they have to be comfortable, right? If you can't get comfortable, then you can't rest. And if you can't rest, then you can't rest your mind. You can't reset your mind. You can't get your life together because you can't think straight because your mind is unrested. Life is what we give it, man, and how we create it. And the things that we speak into it is what exists, you know? And today, you know, I just keep, just that thought. It's a beautiful thought, just to think that I might have what it takes to come up with a solution to one of our problems. Like, I'm just a solution to it's a way bigger problem than, you know, I'm just trying to help. But I believe that if I can create one, I can create another. And if I can create another, and if I can see people watching me from a distance, people might be inspired to come in and want to help me create more. Maybe the government might step in and be like, Snag, okay, we see what We see what you're doing, and we see you putting people in places where we really want them at. We want them in isolated in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere. We want to put them niggas out. They might help me out even too. Might be something they want. You know, but then again, it might be something they don't want because we're gonna have an education center. Yeah, we gotta build something for the kids because most people that's struggling have kids, so we gotta be able to help the kids be able to rest and get their mind right and educate the kids too. But people don't understand that I have an idea to build a homeless shelter, and none of it would be permanently fixtured on the grounds of the land. No. If we permanently fix the shit, then we're gonna have to pay a lot of property taxes. I got a way to go around all that, and it's about the laws, about following the laws, keeping it right. You never know. They might loosen them up for us and let us do what we want to do, but at the same time, nah. We gotta follow the laws and do it right. But as long as we build structures, and that's 600 structures that I'm trying to build. That's a lot of structures, and that's whew, to house 600 people that's a lot of work. No, they really ain't got homeless shelters that's designed to hold that many people that can build, that can do that type of stuff. They're like, man, you trying to build a baby prison, ain't you? Nah, man. Nah, life, beautiful. Trying to live and show other people how they can live. But I have a great idea for my land. It's not just going to be a homeless shelter. I'm gonna have this thing called Boondock 66 where we going it's gonna be like it's gonna be boondocking stations where people can boondock and stargaze. We're gonna have telescopes out there where people can go out there and stargaze at night. We're gonna have events, festivals, campfires, barbecues, fish fries. You know what I mean? Want to have events, man, participation, games, and community love. You know what I mean? You said where I live at. I live in California, and I'm trying to get people to come in, move to California, change their life, get out of them racist states and come to California. We're gonna build a Black Wall Street in the middle of the desert in California. You know what I mean? It ain't in the middle of the desert. It's actually in the middle of a monopoly um, real estate, a monopoly real estate. It's opportunity, man. I know something that y'all don't know. And right now, if I can be smart about it, and we can get this established, boy, we gonna have a nice piece of land that's gonna that the real estate value gonna skyrocket. So many people moving out here, moving this way People are starting to be smart about things and starting to realize the safest place that they can be is at a higher altitude. Higher altitude. Don't nobody want to live below sea level right now because there's a lot of things going on. And if you ever believe that, just like I said, a lot of these weather events that we have in the world is man created, and that, as you can see, they already created a hurricane that made it around the Valencia, California, the Baja, California, and almost struck Los Angeles. So eventually they gonna come up with a formula so strong that motherfucker gonna wrap around, it's gonna hit. It's either a tornado, a fucking hurricane, a catastrophic, a category 7 hurricane gonna hit Los Angeles and wipe it out, or it's gonna be a major earthquake and a tsunami gonna hit and it's gonna wipe it out. But y'all think that wildfire in California is you thought that was devastating. Wait till y'all see what a tsunami can do to Los Angeles in that little region. That's why I live in the middle of the country. No. But then you gotta understand, you in the middle of the scientific chaos. You need the motion to collide in order for the friction to create. Remember that. You need, in order for, a bomb to explode, you need the atoms to. That's why I live. Okay. Oh yeah, baby boy. Oh, damn. I was sitting in that damn chair too long. Oh, my booty, my back, my neck, my ass, everything popped when I stood up.
Recovery phase, a lot of those resources are getting set up. So right now we're still in the active firefighting phase. So it still is not safe for residents to enter in there. But we understand people have lost everything, and our firefighters, this is their hometown. A lot of our firefighters live in this community. They're responding on people's homes they may know. They're checking on people's homes that and now we're having to let people know that their home is no longer there. So people are going to need some emotional support as well. They're going to need to reach out. They need some behavioral health assistance. We do have our shelters and evacuations. All the information for the shelters, where they can seek assistance. We're all going to be placing that on our website at the LAFD.org/me.
And as you were talking, Captain, you were just showing all of the devastating damage that we're seeing row after row of homes, and then we see businesses and large structures that it's hard to even wrap your head around how much has been lost with this fire. Is there any advice you can give? And I think in a moment like this, everyone's saying, we know that our resources are strapped at this moment with all of the fires that we've experienced around Southern California the last couple of days. What can people do that aren't in any immediate danger, that aren't in a fire zone? What can they do to help firefighters, to help keep their property safe during these red flag events?
Well, we always tell people whenever there's a red flag condition, we always tell them to harden their home. There's things that you can do to help to protect your home. You can have adequate brush clearance around your house. You can make sure that your vegetation is trimmed. You can make sure that your eaves into your attic vents are protected. A lot of these homes that have gone up because they had exposed attic vents. With embers, we had sometimes 1, 2, even 3 mile ember casting, and those embers, it was even blown into our base camp at this fire. So the ember casting is it can spot miles away, And even if you're not in an area that you think is in danger, you can find yourself in danger within minutes and need to evacuate. So if people can harden their homes, if they can just make sure that they have evacuation routes in place, that they have a bag pack and that it's all ready, set, go. And yeah, you need to have a plan in place, and you need to do whatever you can to always be vigilant, especially in this
Look what I found at Wally World yesterday.
wildfires or earthquakes.
I found
That's
some
always the way.
cinnamon boochie
Well,
bread.
Captain, once again, we
Cinnamon broochie
appreciate
bread
your
at
knowledge
Walmart.
of what to
And this is
do
gonna be my
and
breakfast bread
what
from now
has
on out.
happened. You've been a great source of information for all of us, and we hope you will pass along over and over to the firefighters who've put their lives on the line for us, that we are grateful for their efforts.
Thank you. I will do that.
Thank you, Captain. Want to go next to Omar Lewis on Harriet Street and Glen Rose Avenue in Altadena.
Firefighters trying to put out the flames from the Eaton fire. Right now, we can see the smoke behind us in our monitor. Omar, these are live pictures from Mount Wilson looking down into the area where you are. And we can see that there's an active firefight right behind you.
That's right, and I wanted to provide an update as officials say they are now mobilizing resources to help in what they're calling a regional crisis. We've seen the firefighters from all across our state and surrounding states helping in this firefight as we were driving into Altadena this morning. This is the scene in this community here right now. We know also that there's a dedicated recovery website that's been set up at recovery.lacounty.gov to guide impacted residents through what will be a long and challenging rebuilding process. We can take you to the video here this morning and tell you we learned that CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 3 will be on site here in Altadena to assist with victim search operations and disaster recovery efforts. We know that so far 5 people were killed in the Eaton fire. In addition here, Federal Assistance Team 5 will be in Southern California working under a federal disaster declaration, providing much needed resources to all those impacted. Officials say their immediate focus is on assessing the extent of all the damage, helping those displaced find temporary housing, and connecting families with critical support services. Take a listen.
This is my favorite oatmeal.
Declaration includes the
On the go.
public assistance and individual assistance. We will begin the process of rebuilding. We will have critical resources available to ensure the residents of our communities are not fighting these battles alone.
People from all over the nation are asking how they can help. So here are 2 essential ways. First of all, support the California Community Foundation Wildlife Recovery Fund at calfund.org, and support the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation at supportlafd.org.
So FEMA has announced federal disaster assistance, including grants for temporary housing, home repairs, low-cost loans for uninsured property losses, and support for business owners. Residents can apply for that at disasterassistance.gov. The American Red Cross is also on the ground providing shelter and meals, while Airbnb has partnered with 211 LA to offer free temporary housing to those displaced. For more information on that, you can call 211 or visit 211la.org. Back out here live in Altadena, we learned that 879 firefighters from all across the state are continuing to battle this fire. You know, this neighborhood is very eerie because there's not many people walking around. No one is allowed to enter this area at this point. But just outside of this zone here in Altadena, this neighborhood that we're at this morning, we can tell you that folks are trying to take those measures to secure their homes. They're watering their rooftops. They're clearing out any brush as well. We learned during that news conference this morning that the LA County Board of Supervisors plans to go in and ratify their emergency proclamations to help provide even more assistance as well. That is the latest for now here live in Altadena this morning. I'm Omar Lewis. Frank and Jessica will send it back to you.
All right, Omar, we're going to have some information momentarily in just a few moments about how to access some of the resources if you have experienced this fire. But we're going to move right now to what we're seeing behind us. So that is the devastation live images right now from Sky 5 HD of the Palisades fire. It has burned more than 17,000 acres, and as you can see, many, many homes.
And the structures lost in this fire now believed to be in the thousands. KTLA's Eric Spillman live in the Pacific Palisades with a look at the destruction. Eric, good morning.
Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Frank. We're on Ocampo Drive, the 600 block of it, and there is a lot of devastation on the street, a lot of homes that were destroyed, but some people are coming back here, some residents, this morning to find that their
Say,
homes
do I cut
survived.
hair?
One of them is Dan. Here, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
How lucky are you? Your house is over across the way there. It's a 2-story home, and it's still standing.
Yeah, somehow by the grace of God and the firefighters on early Tuesday morning, they were able to save it. There was the hedge on the back of the property along with my neighbor's pool structure. Those were completely engulfed. They were able to get back there, knock that down, and somehow save the house.
You look around right across the street here, many of the homes are gone. I mean, what do you think distinguished between the ones that were able to withstand this fire and the ones that just didn't? You think it was just luck?
I do. I think it was just luck and maybe where the wind was blowing. And Chapala behind Ocampo on this side of the street was completely engulfed. And I think the houses that backed up to Chapala got hit harder. And it's just unfortunate. My heart is crushed with our neighbors, our community, the Alphabet Streets, the entire Palisades is really hurting right now.
Do you think everyone will come back and rebuild? Do you think everyone wants to do that?
You know, the Palisades is such a family-oriented community, and it's gonna be dependent upon, hopefully, our leaders and our politicians will actually do something to get our schools up and running, to create a sense of community, and our leaders will gather and make the rebuilding process truly expedited. And I think if we have a chance at that, we can regrow this community. It's the best community in Southern California. There's deep-rooted 4th, 5th generation residents in this community, and I know that they're gonna rebuild.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thanks for talking to us. Really appreciate it. And we showed a lot of these buildings here that are demolished by the fire, just incinerated. And then you look over here across the street, and one of the buildings that survived is this one that's under construction over here to the right. It's all wood. It's deep frame. Somehow that thing survived this massive fire. Not quite sure why, but that shows you just kind of how haphazard it was in the way of which ones made it and which ones did not. Just remarkable. We'll send it back to you.
It truly is, and one wonders how it skipped
that a coincidence?
from one to the other, but thankfully for
I
those
don't believe
folks,
in
at least,
coincidences.
Their
How did
homes-
that house that was in construction didn't burn up?
Right now, what we're looking at is the Hollywood
And the
Hills,
wood was just wide open?
And of course, there was a fire that broke out last night. The evacuation order for the Hollywood Hills near Runyon Canyon. That order.
So
has
you don't
been-
eat porridge?
Last night with the Sunset Fire burning nearly
I
43
eat porridge.
acres.
I love porridge.
Tell us, live now in the Hollywood Hills where folks were able to get back into their homes at about, I think it was it 7:30 this morning, but you have the latest from there, Megan. Good morning.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right, Jess. Good morning to you. You see this gentleman behind me going on a
Porridge
hike
and
with his
cinnamon
dog.
toast.
That's sort of been the vibe out here this morning. People getting back to their new reality. For some people, it's a burned down home. For other people, it's just relief that they are back inside of their home. You see more people coming this way, getting ready to go to the entrance of Runyon Canyon, which is behind us beyond our live truck, where the white
The
bins
cranberries
are.
taste so
Now, the
good.
story this morning, I think for a lot of people, when evacuating yesterday in that fire, the Sunset Fire, it broke out at around 5:30. But for them, at least this one woman's account, it was so interesting. She came up this morning before the sun came up, and she said, this is one thing people aren't talking about. She had a couple of things she says people aren't talking about, one of them being the looters. She said, as I was getting my whole family out, all you have in your mind is just, you're in survival mode at that point. I saw men coming into our neighborhoods. Police confirmed it. She had this to say. Take a listen.
It was wild. We just started seeing all these cars pull up, doors open, and groups of men running up our street, going up to the doors of these houses. And we weren't sure what was going on. I'm thinking, are these people here to help my neighbors? I hope so. And I left, and then my husband talked to the police and said, "What are those guys doing? These guys don't live here, get them out." My next door neighbor said, his quote, "There were like 100 people that came up on scooters and were trying to get into any and all houses on the street."
And did you physically see police officers stopping them?
I didn't, but it's not to say that they weren't. It was so incredibly chaotic, and I was so worried about my big family and getting them out of our old tinderbox of a house that I was just focused on them first.
Even went on to say that it was her neighbors getting confirmation from them, those who decided to stay, that told her, hey, we were able to essentially shoo those looters away, but she said she physically saw them with her own eyes and could not believe it. Now this fire, you're taking a look at aerial shots now, started around 5:30 in the Hollywood Hills on the west side last night, near Solar and Astral Drive, that is west of Runyon Canyon Park. It looks like along the upper Wattles Crest Trail, and looking at a map all morning today. Initially it burned 10 acres, it grew to 20 acres very quickly within the hour, and then more than 40 acres, which is where it is at now. And thanks to the Hollywood Reservoir, helicopters were able to quickly replenish water for aerial drops, which allowed firefighters to get a handle on the fire. And speaking with plenty of other viewers and people who live up in the Hollywood Hills, at least on the west side, who were witnessing everything from their rooftop last night, they said they saw those water drops. They could not believe how great they were working, at least for the Sunset Fire. Traffic, though, when it came to the evacuation orders and people getting out and getting out fast, traffic was bumper to bumper as people tried to get to safety. The police department was deployed to help manage the traffic. I spoke with officers this morning. They said up until about 9 o'clock last night, it was chaos. And you know, we've been speaking to a lot of people this morning. Evacuation center is at the Pan Pacific Recreation Center off of Beverly Boulevard, but again, people are able to come back home this morning in the entire area, and we're talking along Franklin, and this is here up to Sierra Bonita on the west side.
Good bread right
pretty
here.
quiet out here. I don't know if you can see it or make it out in the camera. There is still ash that is falling from the sky. The smell, I will say,
Yeah,
still
yeah,
has
good
a mass
bread.
candy. But now that we're live, you may be able to see the ash that is coming down. Just white pieces,
I don't
white
want to
coming.
do two more pieces.
But the mask is still necessary because it does smell, and the smell can get you a headache, gives you a headache. I mean, for any reporter who's been out here, forget about us. Think about the first responders. Think about the people who were out there fighting their own fire to their homes to save their home. I mean, just talking about the inhalation of the smoke really, quite literally, Frank, and just gets to your head and gives you that headache. So, of course, these are still necessary. This morning, this gentleman's pointing to me now. I think he has something to say. A lot of people wanting to speak out this morning. That's what I'm really noticing, a difference in a shift from yesterday. I was in Sierra Madre, people devastated by their burned down homes. In this community, that's not quite the story. They're more concerned. They want to know what happened. They have concerns about the winds picking up. Henry was mentioning this weekend, Friday into Saturday, winds will be picking up again. Do they come back to their home? Do they get their safety bag ready again? So they need to move out to safety. But that is to be determined. So all of that to say this morning, here in Hollywood, things seem to be okay in this moment. We'll wait to see what happens as we go into a windy weekend. And they can tell us, Frank and Jess, take it away.
Megan, thank you. And let's hope
Nah, man.
that if you live in the Hollywood Hills
No.
and you have a ring camera or some sort
This
of
is where, that's
surveillance,
one of the things that we gonna have with the land. You'll be able to pull your RV out there and just park. It's like 2 miles in from the city. You can drive into the city.
jail.
It's a boom. We're gonna have boondocking stations. You know what a boondocking is?
Try to loot.
Before the homeless shelter even get there, we're gonna have boondocking stations where you can go out there and park,
Please contact the Hollywood Division of LAPD.
pay to stay on the
and let them
land,
know you have this video of these people because they
rent it out for an
can be
event.
prosecuted.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine you're trying to get
The
out
land,
of home
we
quickly
can let the
when
land
you're
pay for itself.
And we see throngs of people coming up in the street to try to take advantage
Disgusting.
of a situation like that is incredibly disheartening and frustrating for those residents.
And I will speak from experience, having been evacuated a couple times in Georgia, that when you're in the midst of a fire, if you haven't experienced it, you really cannot
This is some good bread.
explain everything that's going on. And even though you may feel, okay, if this happens, I'm going to be somewhat calm, I mean, it's a very chaotic situation. So when you see other people you really don't know, maybe it's somebody that's called and said, hey,
Knocking on doors and trying to help people.
Trying to help people, maybe it's your neighbor's friend, relative, that they're saying, hey, can you help me? I'm trying to get out. You don't know that. So people that do this, I mean, it's one of the lowest things. And to your point, anyone who's participated in that, hopefully in due time, when the time comes, justice will be served. Listen, we still have fire concerns. I do want to mention I am in for Mark Kriske this morning, and we're seeing some really at least promising conditions out there in many of those spots. But as I've been saying all morning long, I caution all of you, do not think by any means that this is over. Is the worst of it over in a sense of the strongest gusty winds? Yes, I am comfortable saying that. But if we did not have that fresh on our memory, the 70, 80, 90 mile per hour winds, we would be very concerned about the winds that we could potentially have later today, 30, 40, 50 mile per hour winds. Under normal circumstances, we would be looking at this and we would be saying, hey, we have strong gusty winds anticipated, we have red flag warnings still in effect, and we could see 30, 40, 50 mile per hour wind gusts. That would have our attention, and I want it to have your attention, not to create panic, but in areas where we have active fires, and right now firefighters are getting a break with the winds. There are still some areas where the gusts are out there and noticeable, and as we get to the afternoon, the winds are forecasted to increase. Remember, we still have a red flag warning, and in fact, it's not just about the winds, it's about the extremely dry conditions, and those wind gusts that may not be as strong are still going to be coming out of the northeast. It will still be driving fire conditions, and it will still make things extremely difficult. The system overall may be relaxing just a tad bit. I mean, the setup from this area of low pressure, the two of them that created this cold blast of air and ignited this windstorm, it may be dissipating to a point, but it's still out there. And what it's doing, it's starting to make its way slowly. And that's another issue with this windstorm that we had. It was just such a slow mover. We know that it was relentless, and now it's moving into places like Orange County, the Inland Empire. And I talked about this yesterday. So we're getting a break in these areas. Yes, we have some strong winds in through Orange County and the IE, but eventually these stronger winds will shift into these areas. So today, obviously, we're concerned about our current fire situation and the wind gusts in through LA County, parts of Ventura County. But our stronger gusts are now starting to develop. And we also have the relative humidity that started to rebound.
Sound like somebody gonna start a fire coming through there.
Come down. Palm Springs, single digits. Riverside, close to single digits. Chino, Ontario. Now, downtown, a little bit better at 25%. I show you the relative humidity because this will drop throughout the afternoon. We will get drier conditions. Air quality was good to moderate, really suffering, obviously, the smoke and all of the haze that's out there from the soot and the haze, and the fire is creating an issue for air quality. But I want to talk about the future winds. But even though things are somewhat quiet right now, as we look ahead to 2 o'clock this afternoon, if you look at the color shading, we're still talking 40, 50 mile per hour wind gusts. As we get to the evening hours, we'll really see these winds expand and get really strong in through the Inland Empire in Orange County. San Diego County could see 80 to 85 mile per hour wind gusts, so we know neighboring communities, places like Temecula, Murrieta, you will have extremely strong winds. The Coachella Valley, extremely strong winds, and then we get into the foothills of Riverside and San Bernardino, which of course will flow into sections of Orange County, areas that are prone to windy conditions. Mission Viejo.
Sound like they've been set up another fire.
We're also talking about the inland areas, Yorba Linda, Anaheim Hills, Orange Park Acres. These will be areas of concern into the afternoon and the evening. Not that the LA and Ventura counties won't be a concern, but the stronger winds will start to develop. Notice as we get to Friday, they do relax in the afternoon, but we get a little peak on Saturday morning, then we'll get a break through Sunday, and maybe another go-round of Santa Ana winds coming back late Monday, so perhaps Tuesday, Wednesday. So my overall theme for all this is, yes, things are improving, but we still have very strong, dangerous conditions that will continue for firefighters and neighborhoods, not only this afternoon, but overnight, tonight, through tomorrow, and at times early next week, because we've seen the
Oh my God, I'm back at it again. Oh shit. Whew. My life, my life, my life, my life. When no sunshine.